Have you ever felt invisible in a world that constantly scrutinizes, judges, and measures you? But in truth, they've seen everything, every whispered doubt, every sideways glance, every subtle attempt to manipulate or undermine you has been witnessed, recorded, and silently noted. And now, the very same eyes that once dismissed you are waking up to something they never anticipated: the depth, the resilience, and the power that has been quietly growing inside you all along. You thought you could hide. You thought your perseverance, your composure, your silent victories were unnoticed. But the universe, in its mysterious design, has been keeping score, and it's about to show them. Welcome, chosen ones. You are not ordinary. You have walked through storms that others would have fled, faced betrayals that would have shattered weaker spirits, and yet here you stand unchanged in your core, unbroken in your integrity, and unshakable in your resolve. You've carried the weight of responsibility when no one else would, protected what mattered when everyone else turned away, and acted with a quiet authority that needed no applause, no validation, no external recognition. Your presence alone has been enough to shift outcomes, to challenge expectations, to reshape reality around you. And yet so few have truly understood it, until now. Let me ask you this: what would it feel like if every subtle act of cruelty, every underhanded attempt to control, every small lie or sneer intended to diminish you, was suddenly revealed not through gossip, speculation, or rumor, but through undeniable evidence? What would it feel like if those who underestimated you, mocked you, or sought to destabilize you were forced to confront the truth of your composure and strength? Imagine the weight of revelation pressing down on those who once believed they could manipulate your reality without consequence. Imagine their shock as the quiet, invisible ledger of your life, the choices, the integrity, the small yet consistent acts of strength emerges into clarity. Right now, in the spaces where you move, the office, the community, your family circle, there are people watching. Even if they pretend not to see. Their envy, their suspicion, their subtle attempts to test or undermine you have all been in vain. Because you are not just surviving. You are claiming space, marking presence, demonstrating authority that can never be borrowed or faked. And the tension is palpable. They feel it even when you don't speak. They sense it even when you are silent. You have become the standard they cannot meet, the mirror they cannot ignore, and the force they never saw coming. This is the moment to recognize it. The world of subtle tests, hidden agendas, and unspoken rivalries is not your enemy. It is the arena in which your power has been forged. Every challenge, every whisper, every shadowed glance has shaped you, sharpened you, and prepared you to rise above. And now, as the veil lifts, as patterns of behavior are revealed, and as the weight of truth settles, you stand not as a participant in their schemes, but as the one whose integrity, composure, and resilience define the reality itself. So, chosen ones, lean in. Because what you're about to discover is more than revelation, it's awakening. The stakes are not small, the truths are undeniable, and as the world begins to see what they once overlooked, one question remains for you: are you ready to claim what is rightfully yours, to embrace the power you have always carried, and to witness the tremors your quiet strength sends through a world that never believed you could stand so tall? You've already felt it, haven't you? That quiet, invisible strength that runs through your veins, the resilience that refuses to bend even when the world presses down, the composure that holds steady while chaos swirls around you. What others fail to see is that these seemingly small acts, the way you maintain calm under scrutiny, the careful choices you make in the silence of your day, the unbroken integrity you carry when no one is watching, are the very proof of your power. Every morning you rise, every challenge you endure without flinching, every boundary you uphold quietly but firmly, you are building an authority that cannot be borrowed, bought, or faked. This is your inner power, the one they underestimate because it doesn't announce itself with noise, flash, or drama. Here's the irony: by being invisible to them, by not performing for approval, By quietly living in alignment with your values, you have protected yourself while simultaneously constructing an unshakable foundation. They believe they know you, that they have assessed your limits and measured your influence, but they have no idea. Every time you turned away from petty drama, every time you chose silence over reaction, you were fortifying your mind, your presence, and your aura. They cannot see the ledger of your life that grows with every intentional, disciplined, and morally sound decision you make. And that chosen one's is the truest kind of power, the kind that exists whether they acknowledge it or not. The kind that quietly rewrites the rules without a single proclamation. Now let's translate that invisible strength into action. How do you apply this inner power in a world that constantly tests your composure and your patience? First, maintain composure under criticism. When they mock, they gossip, they attempt to shake you, they are only revealing their own weaknesses. You, on the other hand, respond not with theatrics, but with measured awareness. Let the chaos pass over you like wind through a canyon. It shapes you, but it does not erode you. The moment you keep your calm, you turn their attacks into mirrors of their own insecurity, and every attempt to destabilize you only highlights your integrity. Second, transform every trial into a lesson. The betrayals, the setbacks, the disappointments, they are not punishments. They are a curriculum for the soul. Each one is a chance to refine your judgment, to strengthen your endurance, and to prove to yourself that no external circumstance has the power to dictate your inner state. Instead of succumbing to despair, observe, learn, and grow. Let adversity be the forge where your resilience is hammered into shape. By the time others notice, you are already stronger, wiser, and more capable than they imagined possible. Third, uphold integrity even when no one is watching. It is one thing to act with morality under scrutiny. It is another to remain unwavering in the shadows. These moments of quiet fidelity, returning lost favors. Helping without recognition, making the right choice when convenience tempts you otherwise, are the invisible threads that bind the fabric of your power. Each one accumulates into a presence that is impossible to dismiss, a reputation that cannot be tarnished, and a testimony that will reveal itself when the world least expects it. And here is where the satisfaction comes, the sense of quiet vindication. All those hours of patience, all those acts of composure, all those decisions made with steadfast integrity, they are being recorded in the reality around you. The people who once underestimated you, mocked you, or tried to manipulate you are unknowingly bearing witness to your strength. Their misdeeds, their envy, their deception, once carefully hidden, stand in stark contrast to your unshakable truth. Without you saying a word, the ledger is complete, your resilience is undeniable, and theirs is exposed. This is the moment to recognize the profound truth: your power has always been there, and it will always speak louder than their attempts to diminish you. The quiet consistency of your character, the invisible labor of your patience, and the subtle mastery of your choices are shaping the world more than you realize. Every act of composure, every moment of integrity, and every trial transformed into wisdom is a building block of authority. They may have ignored it, underestimated it, or dismissed it, but the truth is undeniable. You are stronger than they think, and your inner power is already making its mark on everything around you. Now let's take a closer look at them. The people who orbit your life, the ones who have been quietly observing, the ones who assumed your composure and resilience could be undermined. The manipulators, the doubters, the quiet opportunists. You've probably noticed it already. There's a subtle shift in the way they react when your power, your integrity, and your unwavering presence become impossible to ignore. They can't deny it anymore. That calm authority you carry, it unsettles them. It exposes them. And in doing so, it begins to rewrite the social landscape around you. Some feel envy. They thought they had the map, the influence, the control, but your consistency, your quiet victories, and your resilience reveal the cracks in their constructed facades. They see your strength and realize it's not performative, it's organic, it's earned, not borrowed, not manipulated. And suddenly every attempt they made to discredit you, Every whisper, every subtle dig, every calculated move to unsettle you becomes evidence of their own inadequacies. Their machinations, once cloaked in subtlety, now stand exposed. That composure you maintain, those moments of patient integrity, are no longer just your defense. They are testimony, undeniable and precise. Fear enters the equation. They begin to realize that the quiet power you wield isn't something that can be bargained with, bent, or stolen. Your presence highlights their instability, their compromises, and the fragility of the structures they built to mask insecurity or cruelty. And the truth is that fear is satisfying for you, not in a vengeful way, but as validation. All those hours spent maintaining integrity, composure, and moral clarity, even when no one else cared or noticed, are now mirrored back in the subtle trembling of those who misjudged you. You don't have to shout, and you don't have to prove it. Their reactions tell the story for you. Now consider the manipulators, the ones who thrived on your silence, on your patience, on your willingness to endure while they acted. Their attempts to orchestrate outcomes, to control perceptions, or to twist narratives begin to collapse under the weight of objective truth. Your consistent actions, your measured responses, your ability to rise above chaos. Every calculated move they made to dominate, deceive, or belittle is now their undoing. Your strength becomes the lens through which their duplicity is exposed, the evidence against the games they played. There is a quiet satisfaction in seeing that the truth unassailable, revealing the contrast between their intentions and their failures. The beauty of this dynamic is social and communal. You realize, chosen ones, that your power doesn't exist in a vacuum. It radiates. The people around you, friends, colleagues, community members, begin to see the difference between genuine integrity and pretense. They notice the subtle acts of consistency, the composure under pressure, the ethical decisions made without applause. Over time, these repeated, consistent behaviors build a reputation that no rumor, manipulation, or slander can override. The community begins to align with truth because it becomes visible, tangible, and undeniable. Your influence reshapes the social ecosystem, not through noise or aggression, but through quiet, persistent authority. And this is where the satisfaction becomes profound. You see finally that the contrast between authenticity and deception is unmistakable. The ones who were false, the manipulators, the envious, the opportunists, their masks are slipping. Your integrity becomes the standard by which everyone else is measured, a reference point that exposes pretense without a single accusation. This is a social vindication that resonates deeply because it is objective. It is proven not by words, but by behavior and consistency over time. By observing this dynamic, you also recognize your responsibility. The patterns you establish through composure, moral courage, and deliberate choices create a ripple effect. Others who aspire to rise, to stand firm, or to reclaim their own power see your example. Your actions empower them, teach them discernment, and illuminate the difference between true authority and performative posturing. In effect, you are quietly reshaping not just individual perceptions, but the ethical architecture of your community. In short, your presence is both mirror and measure. It shows others who they truly are, reveals who is genuine and who is false, and demonstrates that real strength is quiet, consistent, and undeniable. The satisfaction comes not from revenge, not from humiliation, but from the justice inherent in truth itself. Your truth steadfast and luminous, reshaping the world around you. Now that you understand the undeniable influence you wield, the next step is translating that quiet power into deliberate, practical action. Inner strength is not just an abstract concept, it's a living force that manifests through your daily choices, habits, and composure. Every morning you rise, every decision you make, every moment you resist the pull of distraction or drama is a brick in the foundation of your authority. Each small habit, no matter how seemingly mundane, organizing your day with intention, responding calmly under pressure, keeping your word even when no one notices, builds a legacy of credibility and influence that cannot be bought or imitated. You don't need validation from anyone else. The applause, the recognition, the nods of approval, they are optional at best. What matters is alignment with your own values, your own vision, and your own integrity. Living consistently with these principles is the truest form of empowerment. When you act from this space, your presence radiates authority without force, your decisions carry weight without showmanship, and your actions inspire more than any words ever could. This is the difference between being seen and being understood. The world may not always recognize it immediately, but the ripple effects of your composure, authenticity, and resilience are undeniable. Now let's explore practical strategies for interacting with the world around you. First, learn to recognize the manipulators, the envious, and the ones who lack integrity. They may appear charming, confident, or friendly, but their behavior will reveal inconsistency, opportunism, or a subtle desire to exploit. Observing these patterns allows you to navigate interactions with clarity and purpose. Do not rush to respond. Instead, maintain composure. Observe the dynamics at play. Respond intentionally, never react impulsively. By doing so, you refuse to give them leverage while simultaneously preserving your own energy and authority. Every challenge, betrayal, or uncomfortable situation is an opportunity to strengthen your inner power. When faced with adversity, resist the urge to react from emotion or ego. Instead, examine what lesson lies within the experience. What can you learn? How can this situation refine your judgment, sharpen your discernment, or enhance your resilience? Transform every difficulty into a stepping stone for growth. Over time, this practice accumulates and your composure becomes your signature, your calm in the storm, your distinguishing mark. Sustainable influence is built on stability, consistency, and authenticity. Speak less about who you are. Demonstrate it through action. Let your behavior be the measure by which others assess integrity, courage, and wisdom. When people notice that you do not bend under pressure, that your decisions are deliberate, and that your values remain consistent regardless of circumstance, respect and influence follow naturally. Leadership rooted in action rather than words is enduring, precise, and impossible to undermine. Consider the power of building a community of like-minded individuals, the network of chosen ones. Your influence is amplified when aligned with others who share similar values, vision, and commitment to integrity. Seek out those who act from authenticity, who value resilience, and who demonstrate composure under pressure. Encourage, uplift, and learn from each other. By connecting with this network, you reinforce your own authority and extend your impact beyond yourself. The collective strength of this community becomes a force that reshapes perspectives, elevates standards, and creates an environment where integrity and authenticity are recognized and rewarded. Practical applications of these principles could look like this in meetings. Choose to speak only when your words contribute clarity or direction. In social dynamics, respond thoughtfully to provocation instead of reacting impulsively. In personal growth, invest in daily routines that reinforce mental, emotional, and spiritual resilience. Over time, these small, intentional actions compound into a presence that cannot be ignored. They leave a mark not because you demanded attention, but because attention naturally gravitates toward authenticity and competence. Remember, chosen ones. Your influence is not built on theatrics or noise, it is built on consistency, integrity, and purpose. By leading through behavior, not empty rhetoric, you model what true power looks like. Others will follow not because you told them to, but because they recognize the stability, wisdom, and moral clarity you bring into every interaction. Your life becomes the proof of what is possible when resilience is cultivated. Composure is maintained and integrity is non-negotiable. Ultimately, the goal is to live deliberately, influence subtly, and create lasting impact. Each day, each decision, each act of integrity is a testament to your strength. Every challenge overcome, every moment of calm maintained, every small act of ethical courage adds to the ledger of your life, establishing a legacy that cannot be rewritten by gossip, envy, or the manipulations of others. This is how you claim your power, sustain it, and expand it through daily discipline, deliberate action, and unwavering alignment with the highest version of yourself. When you embrace these practices, you no longer need to chase recognition. You no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. Your life, your behavior, your impact, they speak volumes on their own. And as your authority grows, as your composure becomes undeniable, and as your network of chosen ones strengthens, the world begins to shift around you, aligning with the truth that you carry. That integrity, consistency, and authentic power are not optional. They are unstoppable. As we reach the final chapter of this journey, it is time to truly recognize the power you have cultivated. You have endured challenges that could have broken the faint-hearted. You have navigated betrayals, setbacks, and moments of doubt that would have derailed many, yet here you stand whole, unshakable, and steadfast in your integrity. Every act of composure, every decision made with clarity and moral courage, every time you stayed true to your values. Despite pressure or adversity, these are not just memories. They are living proof of your resilience, authority, and the inner power that defines who you are. You are a living example of what it means to rise above circumstance and to carry yourself with unwavering dignity regardless of the chaos around you. The lessons you've absorbed from your journey are clear. You do not need approval, applause, or validation from others. Your worth is not determined by their recognition. The trials you've faced, the failures you've endured, and the obstacles you've overcome have been tools deliberately shaping your capacity to influence, lead, and inspire. Every challenge, every moment of doubt, and every setback has been a stepping stone, preparing you to operate from a space of strength, clarity, and purpose. When you embrace this truth, you no longer chase external validation. You no longer seek permission to be powerful, authentic, or influential. Instead, you stand firmly in your own authority, guided by your principles, your vision, and your integrity. This journey has also illuminated the transformative power of consistency and authenticity. By maintaining your composure under pressure, acting with integrity when no one is watching, and living according to your values, you have created an influence that cannot be undermined or ignored. People notice. Even when they attempt to obscure the truth, to manipulate perception, or to diminish your achievements, your actions speak louder than their doubts. Your composure becomes your signature. Your authenticity becomes your voice, and your resilience becomes the standard by which others measure themselves. In doing so, you inspire those around you without needing to claim attention or make grand declarations. Equally important is the community. You are now a part of the network of chosen ones. You are not alone. By aligning with others who share your values, your vision, and your commitment to integrity, you strengthen your own influence while amplifying theirs. The victories, the lessons, and the wisdom you gain become part of a collective power that reshapes perspectives, inspires growth, and fosters accountability. Together, you create a network where influence is earned through action, authority is rooted in integrity, and resilience is celebrated and shared. Now is the time to translate these lessons into action. Apply your inner strength deliberately in every area of your life. Stand firm in your choices, maintain composure in the face of challenge, transform obstacles into opportunities for growth, and let your consistency, authenticity, and integrity be the measure of your influence. You are not here merely to survive. You are here to shape the world around you, to model what it means to live powerfully and with purpose, and to guide others through your example. If this message resonates with you, take a step to reinforce it. Like the video to affirm these truths. Comment below to share your journey, your lessons, and your victories. Subscribe to Chosen and Rising to continue exploring your hidden potential, and to remain part of a community committed to growth, resilience, and authentic influence. Remember, you are a chosen one, standing tall, shining brightly, and influencing the world simply by being who you are. Let your presence speak for itself. Let your actions reflect your strength, and let the world witness the undeniable power you have built. Stand firm, rise with confidence, and continue to illuminate the path for others through your integrity, composure, and unshakable resilience. Your journey is your proof, your life is your testament, and your power is visible, undeniable, and unstoppable.